Hi, I'm John Malos. Welcome to this live edition of Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this Friday morning. Glad you are here. Our resident family therapist is going to be here today to talk about a lot of things like setting boundaries for yourself and your loved ones and your friends. We have an open phone line here at 436-ME-TV option 11. No sponsor today, so plenty of time to call in and weigh in on the program. Back in a moment.
Tonight I want to discuss the importance of the television medium to the American people.
And we're back here on the program on a Friday morning. Glad you are here on Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this day. It is a rainy day out there. We certainly need the rain, so glad for that. And we'll see what happens this weekend. And so a couple of programming notes for next week. You know, on Monday, we have a big program coming up because for the full hour, Loretta Sanchez is going to be here. Loretta Sanchez is a congresswoman who has been in office since 1997. A lot of controversy surrounding this candidate and this woman who holds office, of course, in Washington, D.C. She is from Orange County. That is the district that she represents. Well, right now, she's running against Kamala Harris for U.S. Senate here in California to replace Barbara Boxer, who's been in there since 1993. The debate between Harris and Sanchez took place last weekend. Many of us saw it. So she'll be the guest for the full hour on Monday right here on Connect with Me, and you're welcome to call in and ask her any types of questions. Went through some of the voting records of Loretta Sanchez yesterday while in Congress, and quite controversial in terms of some of her votes. Yes, no, did not vote on many issues that you'll be surprised at. We'll show you that on Monday. Then on Tuesday, Steve Brandow is going to be here. He's a sitting city councilman over there in District number 6. He's already got his seat locked up, but we'll talk to him about all sorts of issues right here in the city of Fresno. But right now, you're watching us live on Comcast, channel 375 as usual, 13.1 and 43.6 over-the-air broadcast if you have an outdoor antenna. It's certainly good to have an outdoor antenna, even if you have Comcast cable or some other service, because you never know when that cable system is going to go out or when the bill's going to go up. So you can watch us on all three of those channels if you like. In the meantime, if you want to catch the replay of this program, it comes up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 13.6 YouTube, 8 o'clock tonight. While you're watching the World Series game number 3, you can also watch us at the same time, if you want, on 4.6 Biz TV. And so our family therapist is going to be here in a little bit. He is caught in traffic, but he'll be here just in time for the program. There's no question about that. But in the meantime, we are going to sit here and talk about what we may talk about today, and that is how to set your limits. How to set your limits for yourself, your friends, and your family. Let's put up the full screen. I'll show you what I'm talking about right now. We'll take the 5 bullet points to begin with. Admit your personal lines. That would be number 1, according to our expert. Number 2, it would be trust your intuition. Number 3, practice limit setting on small things. Yes, even the smaller things in life. You may not think, you know, they're all that big. It's not that big a deal, but you still have to set the limits on some of these issues, like draw a line in the sand. All right, number 4 would be start spending time with people who support your limits. In other words, if somebody doesn't agree with the limits that you've set, why spend time or waste time with them? Number 5, listen to your own body. Usually meditation works, usually breathing exercises work, usually noticing some types of sensations up and down your body, they usually work as well. So, you know, we have a family therapist here in Fresno that we use all the time here on the program. You know him well. He'll be here in just a few moments, but I want to talk about another person who is a longtime family therapist, and her name is Sarah Gilman. I found this very interesting online. She talked about, you know, setting boundaries for yourself, setting boundaries for your friends, putting up that fence and setting the limits, and also she talked about self-care, which we'll talk about on the program today. That means taking care of yourself. and trying to reduce the stress in your life. And that means don't work as hard, don't be stressed out as much as you should be, or you think you should be, or are on a daily basis, and take time for yourself to recuperate. Maybe take a weekend getaway somewhere, maybe take a sponge bath, or maybe, just get in the hot tub or something, or jump in the pool, take a walk, ride a bike, do something to reduce that stress level. Sarah Gilman is a well-known family therapist across the country. Here's what she had to say about self-help and setting some of those boundaries, and then we'll get the comment later from our expert.
Everyone is in the middle of a life story, and your story is being shaped by what you are saying yes to and what you are saying no to. Your yeses and nos are what boundaries are made of. So what are boundaries? How do we build them? How do we heal when our boundaries are violated? And how do we push through boundaries? These questions have been the center of my life and my work. When I was a little kid and my world was just my family, I was pretty sure we were the only ones struggling with those questions. And then I grew up and I became a family therapist. And I saw lots of people struggling with these questions. And when I took a detour and ran nonprofits, I saw communities and leaders struggling with these questions. So now I teach workshops and wrote a book to help people answer these questions. And as people answer these questions and learn more about their boundaries, I've watched hundreds of people make the journey from being overwhelmed and exhausted and stressed out to people who trust themselves and are decisive and are committed to healthy relationships.
So that is Sarah Gilman. She is a family resident therapist, of course, well known around the nation. She's written some books. She talks about this issue of self-help and setting guidelines and boundaries for yourself to help yourself lead a more comfortable and easygoing life without the stress, because all of us, I think we all create stress for ourselves. We don't set those boundaries, and the biggest thing is saying no. How to say no. At least that's what Gilman stresses in some of her books and self-help speeches that she gives, especially the one that you saw there. There is much more to come here on Connect with Me. Our family therapist of our own here is going to be along in just a few moments. He is caught in traffic somewhere in Fresno, so we'll get to him as soon as Peter Nazaretian gets here. He is our guest. You're welcome to call in the meantime and talk about this very issue that we're talking about today, setting boundaries, saying no, saying yes, relaxing, reducing the stress out of your life. Back with our program here in just a moment.
Revin is now on KVHF channel 4.4.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the save energy, save time, save money place. The Energy Star qualified #1 rated high-efficiency Cabrio from Whirlpool Place. You heard right. Right now, save big on select Whirlpool Cabrio laundry pairs and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months. At the hometown low price, think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
After God created the world, He made man and woman. then, to keep the whole thing from collapsing, he invented humor.
Sub, a perfect reason to rejoice. A distinctly positioned channel in the crowded Hindi general entertainment channel space. It is India's only family comedy entertainment channel with a core brand promise of असली मजा सबके साथ आता है.
देख रहा हूँ.
Which means celebrate the joy of being together. Taking humor as a universal language, the shows on Sub are light-hearted and make up for an enjoyable family viewing experience. Indeed.
असली मजाक सबके साथ आता है.
अब तो सबको पता है यार.
Sub TV is now on digital channel 31.8.
Back here on the program, Connect with me. I'm so glad you are here. 436-BTV, option 11. If you have a difficult time saying no, and we all know what no means, N-O. No means no, right? And so you got to set those boundaries, set the limits, draw the line in the sand, put up those fences so you can help yourself become happier within your own body. If you're not happy in your own heart and how you're living your life, if you're filled with too much stress, then that is not good for your system, certainly not good for any people that are around you. Imagine people that have to live with you. Imagine people that are friends with you. Imagine people that are related to you. If you're unhappy, they're going to be unhappy. So sometimes, you know, what this young lady, Sari Gilman, tried to stress is that a lot of times when you say no, that creates anger, it creates frustration, and it creates disappointment with the other person that you're telling no to. You got to say no, but that creates a lot of anxiety on the other side. You know, why are you saying no to me? I want to put up some full screens until our family therapist gets here, Peter Nazaretian. He is obviously caught in traffic. I'm going to take the call in just a moment here. Hang on just a second. I don't see that call, so it's not coming in. But anyway, there are guidelines. There are rules or limits that a person creates to identify reasonable, safe, and permissible ways for other people to behave towards them and how they will respond when someone passes those limits. And change it to the next one. They are built out of mixed conclusions, beliefs, opinions, attitudes, past experiences, and social learning. This concept has been widely referenced in self-help books and used in the counseling profession since the mid-1980s. What does all this mean? What do you think it means? 436-ME-TV, option 11. Peter Nazaretian will be here to break all this down for us, but give us a call if you have a problem saying no to somebody, because I know people, just longtime friends, they can't say no to anything, and they look unhappy, they look run down, they look stressed out. Even sometimes I have a hard time saying no to people, and you know who I have a hard time saying no to are my kids, and that really stresses me out. So if you have kids and you can't say no to your kids, you have to learn how to set those boundaries. You have to learn how to set limits within yourself so you can lead a happy lifestyle that is relaxed, that is really stress-free. We're going to come back and take more of your phone, hopefully a phone call or two from you folks. 436-ME-TV, option 11, right here on the program. There's an open phone line, so call up if you'd like. Hey, if you want, we can even talk politics. Talk about being stressed out. We live in a stressed out society right now. You know, did you see the Gary Condon interview, by the way, on Dr. Phil yesterday? I saw bits and pieces of it, and really, I mean, there's so many things that go on around the country that can stress us out if we let every little thing get to us. And I think of three things that captivated the nation over the last 25 years. Number one was the OJ trial. Number two was Gary Condon. Number three was 9/11. And I guess you can throw in number four. That would be this presidential election. People going at each other, not setting limits, not setting boundaries. Let's take this call here. Caller, you're on the line. Connect with me. Peter Nazaretian, our family therapist, is going to be here. He's caught in traffic, and I think he got stuck at a train. I don't know if it's a train depot, if a train got in front of him and he can't move. But go ahead. What's your question?
I was wondering if I could get the first name of Gilman, and maybe one of the books that she read. I mean, Rose?
Let me give you the correct spelling of her name. Do you have a pen, piece of paper?
Yes, I do.
Okay, it's Sari Gilman. S-A-R-R-I. That's her first name. And it's
Okay.
Gilman. G-I-L-M-A-N. Now, she is, a longtime therapist, and she, owns her own nonprofit business. And I did a little reading on her last night, and, she became so overwhelmed herself that she created this whole program called Self-Help. And we'll get into that during the course of the program. So do you have a hard time saying no?
Oh, do I ever? Yes, I do.
Like with what? Give me an example.
With men.
With what?
With men. I've been divorced twice, and I lost a husband through death. I've been married 3 times, and I'm single now.
Oh, okay. And so you basically have a hard time saying no to men? Do you have a hard time saying no to your kids or friends?
Yes. I guess I have a hard time saying no to anyone.
Well, let me ask you something. Do you feel stressed?
Yeah, I'm having a panic attack today.
Okay. And how does that make you feel inside? I mean, do you feel happy? Do you feel like you need to do something? Do you feel like you're in neutral? Do you feel like you're stalled in your life? How do you feel?
I feel like I wish somebody would shoot me. I want to die.
Pardon me?
I feel like I don't want to keep living.
Oh, you're kidding me. What's your name, ma'am?
And I won't tell you. The first name is Marlene.
Okay, your first name is Marlene. Okay, I don't need the last name, but I wish Peter was here right now, but he's stuck in traffic, and so
That's okay.
I wish I had your phone number. I could have Peter call you, because that's not good. That's not a good sign.
I know. I went to the doctor today, and he gave me some more pills, so I'll take pills and anxiety pills, and I'll calm down.
What kind of pills are you on? What are you taking?
Oh, I take high blood pressure pills and 2 types of anxiety pills, and
What types of anxiety pills do you take?
I don't know. I can't remember the names of them. One I take every morning, and the other one I only take like now when I'm having a panic attack.
Okay, so how old are you?
I'm turned 74 in September.
You'll be how old? 74?
Yeah, I was 74 in September.
Okay, do you have any friends? Do you have any other family that can help you?
Oh, yeah, I have 3 sons left that I love them very much. They're all 50 or older.
Let me ask you, do you have a pet? Do you have any animals?
No, I'll probably trip over them and break something, so I don't have any pets.
Oh, okay. Well, what do you like to do for hobbies? I mean, do you do anything? Do you go to the movies? Do you go out shopping? What do you do?
For hobbies, I read. I go to church. I'm very religious, so even though I would like to kill myself, I don't believe in it. So
Okay,
I will not kill myself.
Stay on the line now, because I want to read to you a couple of notations here. Some of the things that Sari Gilman said. Are you with me, ma'am? You going to stay with me?
Yes, I'll stay with you.
Okay.
Thank you.
She said, basically, saying no is a good thing because that sets your boundaries. It can cause anger and it can cause disappointment. But the most important thing that you have to worry about is self-care. What do you eat? How much do you eat? And how much do you exercise? But will you have high stress in your life? Managing your boundaries with stress. And she said that managing your stress is much more important than what you eat and how much you exercise. So she says that you have to take time to treat yourself right, enjoy yourself, have time to play with others or with yourself. Play means maybe going to the movies or going to the beach or going to visit a friend or something like that. Happiness is important. You must have balance in your life. You must rest. And you must have companionship. And I understand, hey, we've all made bad choices in relationships, believe me. You're looking at one prime example right here. But, I mean, there are very few people out there that really do make the right choice. I don't know how they do it. It's instinct. They know that that's the right person. But that's what Sari Gilman said to focus on. Reducing the stress in your life. Okay, so you concentrate on other things besides exercise and obviously what you eat. Those are important, but what's more important is reducing the stress. Enjoying yourself, happiness, and balance in your life. Are you trying to do that now?
Well, no. I have been exercising, and I need to lose 70 pounds because I'm borderline diabetic.
You need to lose how much?
70 pounds.
You need to lose 70 pounds. Okay. Well, you know what we're going to do? I want you to stay on the line right now. Can you hang on? Don't hang up.
Okay.
Don't hang up. We're not going to hang up on you. We're going to take a quick break here on Connect with Me. And Peter has just arrived, and I want Peter to talk to you, and maybe he can help you out. Is that all right?
Oh, yes, please.
Okay, hang on. 436-ME-TV, option 11. Our family therapist is here. Actually what he did is his car grew wings, and he flew right over the train, and he got here just in time to talk to this young lady on the line who's having some issues. Back in just a moment.
When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Samsung big screen we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start. But you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Time for that upgrade to an HD 3D web-enabled Samsung TV. Get the best selection, price, and service in town without waiting. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today. The new Frigidaire Professional line at Ventura TV Video Appliance. Enjoy generous-sized cooktops and sauté or simmer with ease, while true convection ovens offer even baking and juicy roasting perfection. Foods stay their freshest in spacious refrigerators with convenient controls and clear filtered ice and water. Easy to clean surfaces reduce fingerprints, and the quietest of dishwashers makes cleanup a snap. The new Frigidaire Professional line at Ventura TV Video Appliance.
All right, back here on the program on Connect with Me, Peter Nazaretian joins us now, as you can see right here. So, Peter, we're talking to Marlene, who was on the line. She has high blood pressure. She takes 2 anxiety medications. In the monologue, I just want to recap here and set this up because I knew you weren't here, so I want to recap for you. There is a woman by the name of Sarah Gilman. She's a nationally known family therapist. I took a quick soundbite from her in the monologue, and she talked about setting guidelines and reducing the stress in your life, talked about self-care. She said, setting the boundaries can cause anger and disappointment with other people, the people that you say no to, but she says what's more important than eating right and exercising is reducing the stress in your life. So Marlene comes on the line. She says she has a hard time saying no to the opposite sex, to men, okay? She's had 2 marriages. I believe she said, and I don't want to say anything out of line here, but Marlene, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Did you say that you sometimes feel like ending your whole life?
Yes, I've thought of different ways of doing it.
All right. Peter is right here. He's going to help you out. You guys just have a little conversation here and see what can be done.
Good morning, Marlene.
Good morning.
Nice to have you here. I'm sorry to hear that you're having a hard time. I've just arrived, so perhaps you can tell me something about those anti-anxiety medications that you take.
Okay. The one I take that I should have taken before I called in is ALPRAZOLAM 0.5 mg, and if I take it, I'll quit crying and I'll be okay. It's the second one, and then I also take a lighter one for my blood pressure. I went to the doctor this morning, my regular doctor, and he gave me. I had gone 2 to 4 weeks without 3 medicines because I changed September the 1st from PPO to HMO, and they wouldn't fill it until they got the authorization. So I get back on my second blood pressure pill and my cholesterol pill, and I can't remember what the third one was. But I get these panic attacks every once in a while, and I just want to either stand in front of a train or drown myself, or I can't think of the third one. But I can't do it because, one, I don't believe in committing suicide. I'm go to church regular, and I just don't. I know I think you can still go to heaven even if you commit suicide, but I just don't want to commit suicide because my 3 boys would feel bad about it. I have 3 sons, and I love them, and they love me. I've been married 3 times. First husband deserted me and his sons. The second husband died, and the third husband divorced me. We divorced.
All right, Marlene, you mentioned that you take an anti-anxiety medication, and you said that you didn't take it today, but when you take it, you feel better. Did you take that this morning?
The second one, no. Because I have 2 anxiety pills, and my son that isn't married and comes down every other month to help me, he said don't take them both at the same time, so I didn't take the second one. I just took the first one.
Okay. You normally take the 2 of them together?
No. I only take the second one when I know I'm going into a stressful position, so I don't have a panic attack, which I feel like I'm having right now.
Yes. I suspect that what I'm listening to is somebody whose probably medications aren't quite right. You mentioned maybe getting off them a little bit because of switching over your insurances and whatnot. And oftentimes when I see this in the office, when we get off the medications in some way, the feelings that you're experiencing are pretty common. I'm not saying that because you should feel better, but I think if you were on your medications, the right medications, the right dosage, and taking them all the way you're supposed to, you may not be feeling this way. So am I hearing that your medications are off a little bit somewhere?
Yes, but I'm hoping to get them in the mail today. I ordered them Tuesday, and they have to come from Arizona to California, so I'm hoping that they come today. But my doctor did give me the prescription for the second high blood pressure pill because I guess when I went to him, my blood pressure was high. And when I told him I hadn't been taking the other one because I hadn't got it yet, he understood why it was high.
Please understand, this is not intended as diagnosis or treatment. We're just talking on the phone here. I want to be very clear on that.
I understand completely.
Okay. I suspect if you take your anti-anxiety medication, you're probably going to feel better. Obviously, all the other medications are off too, but that's the one right now that is in particular concern. So you may want to consider...
That's the one that will calm me down.
Yes, exactly. You need to get that one on board. So you may want to call your pharmacist and tell them that you've had a prescription for that. They're crossing over. It's not quite ready yet, but could they give you a pill or 2 to get you through until your prescription comes in? That would be a very good thing to do. Also, you can call your doctor, see if they can make some kind of an adjustment just to get you through for a day or 2, perhaps some samples in the office or something. It's important that you get that medication on board, calm down, because I think this is really what we're looking at, is a lot of anxiety. I hear you feeling like you want to jump out of your skin and get very antsy, and this is very typical for what you're going through. So would you do that, please? Call the pharmacy and your doctor, see if you can't get that medication, even a sample or something to tide you over for a day or 2, and get that on board. Can you do that as quickly as possible?
I can do that as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Marlene, do you still have a pencil, piece of paper?
Excuse me?
Do you still have a pencil?
Pencil and paper, yes.
Okay, give your phone number out, Peter, in case she wants to come and see you.
Okay, Marlene. My number is 252-9700. Again, 252-9700.
Okay.
What I'd like you to do is get a hold of your pharmacy and your doctor, see if you can arrange to get that medication, just a sample or 2 until you can get through to your regular prescription, and then just give me a call and let me know that you've done that and that you're okay. Can you do that?
Yes, I can. Thank you very much.
And Marlene, one bit of advice from somebody who is not an expert, but I've been through a lot, and that is learn how to say no. You know,
okay, I'm gonna write that on my arms so I can look at it and just read my arm.
Yeah,
good idea.
Yeah, kind of like a quarterback in football. You know, he's got all those plays written down on his wrist. You know, he's kind of like that.
Right.
All right, sweetie, you keep in touch, okay?
Okay, thank you so much for your help.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Hey, we're going to take a break here. Thanks, Peter, for that help. I appreciate it very much. We're going to come back and take more of your phone calls. 436-ME-TV, option 11, and I'll recap for Peter what I've done so far besides Marlene. Back in just a moment.
The Justice Network is here. If you haven't tuned in, you're missing a great lineup of gripping stories of real crime, plus an unprecedented effort by viewers like you to play an active role in making your community safer. You can help support law enforcement by providing information that may lead to the apprehension of dangerous criminals or find a missing child. Great shows and your chance to fight crime. only on the Justice Network.
When you're looking for KitchenAid innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, we'll help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified KitchenAid appliances save you energy and money, and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
Back here on the program, caller, you're on Connect with Me. What is your question for Peter Nazaretian today? Caller?
Yes.
Speak up. Go ahead.
Oh, I just want to tell Marlene that, you know, you have to remember you're worthwhile. You're a good person. You've raised several kids. And to remember that you are worthwhile and that you need to do something good for yourself, okay? Do something for yourself to make yourself happy. It's a beautiful day out. I love to look at the rain and hear it pitter-patter out. And that's a real relaxing thing. And get yourself a cat. I mean, they're soft, they're purr, they'll keep you company, and they'll give you lots of love. And I think you need to get lots of love for yourself because you're an important person. And you got to remember that. And until you can remember that you have to love yourself, you can't say no because you don't love yourself enough. Remember, you're an important person in this world. You've done a lot for a lot of other people. You're 74. It's time to do something for yourself. Something that you really want to do that you would enjoy. Something simple. It doesn't have to be expensive. It's just something simple. Maybe you like to go out to eat at a certain place, or maybe you like to watch a certain TV program. It's okay, you know. Take a bubble bath, whatever. But do something for yourself because you're an important person.
That's interesting, yeah.
I appreciate that. Wonderful words of wisdom. And sometimes when our chemistry is off, it's very hard to have that sense of peace and comfort. But when we're balanced out, what you say is just wonderful. I love the fact that you can get so much calmness and security out of, you know, sometimes you said the pitter-patter of the rain, you love to watch it, and some people out there, damn it, it's raining out. And so it's just the way we look, you know, the perspective is, you know,
yeah.
I love that you can have that wonderful calming perspective, and thank you for your kind words and your love. I'm sure Marlene appreciates it.
All right, I want to recap here just a little bit because you missed it here, and that is I want to go back to the monologue a little bit and put up the full screen called How to Set Your Limits. I want to go over these chapter and verse here. And how to set your limits is right there on the screen. Admit your personal lines. What are those lines? You know, I'm talking about the line in the sand. You may have several lines in the sand. I don't know. Trust your intuition. Practice limit setting on small things. You know, the small things you might think, it's just a little teeny tiny thing. It's not a big deal. But set the limit on that too. Number 4, start spending time with people who support your limits. I mean, the people who don't support your limits aren't going to agree with you. They're not going to support you. They're not going to be in your corner, right? When the worst and the absolute worst day comes down. Okay, number 5, listen to your body. You know, I'm not into meditation. I never have been, but I hear it works. I hear it's interesting, to say the least, and it works. Breathing exercises work. Noticing the sensations, the good vibes in your body. What do you have to say about all this, Peter?
Well, first of all, it's meditation, not mediation, but the idea is a good one.
Oh, did it say? Oh, okay.
But you said the right thing, meditation, calming yourself, having breathing exercises, all that.
Well, it could be mediation.
It could be. I've talked to myself a little bit there. And noticing sensation. These are all good tricks. And a little bit later in the show, we want to show you a real practical way to approach these two as well.
Okay. And so admit your personal lines is number 1. How do you admit to yourself that you have to draw these lines? Or do you have to have somebody kind of force feed you?
That's a good one, John, because sometimes people are not used to saying no. And let me tell you how this works. There are 2 kinds of people in the world, givers and takers. We can divide people up in various ways, but for the sake of this, we'll talk about givers and takers. And the reality is that there are about 4 times as many takers as there are givers. And the reason is because we make them. So, and let me show you how that works. You do something nice for somebody, And I'll deal with John here for a second.
Hang on, caller.
John, you do something nice for somebody because you're a nice guy, and that person says, "Oh, John, that is so sweet. That is so nice of you. Thank you so much. How much do I owe you?" What do you say?
I say you don't owe me anything because I did it voluntarily.
Nothing.
Nobody forced me to do anything.
No, my pleasure. No, please, let me buy breakfast. My treat. Take the car. You don't have to put gas in it. I'll watch the kids. You go. You don't have to pay me back. No, keep that money. The third time you do that to somebody, what have you turned them into? A taker. You've set them up to take advantage of you. Even people who wouldn't necessarily do it.
How do you know that there are more takers than givers? Where do you get these stats from?
Because
I don't mean to put you on the spot.
No, because we make them. I just told you how. We all do that. No, please. It's my pleasure. And you suddenly surround yourself by takers. And we make them. We insist on giving people, no, keep it. My pleasure. Well, the third time you did somebody, you just made a new best friend. Reed, I can come to your house every night and at dinner. I can borrow money from you and not pay it back. I can take your car and not put gas in it. You're my new best friend. It's way too easy to make takers. And unfortunately, givers surround themselves with takers because that's what takers look for. They look for people who can have an advantage. Have you ever gone to a luncheon or something, half a dozen people sitting there, and the check comes, everyone puts a few dollars on the table to pay for the check, and you're the banker, and you look at it and you realize somebody didn't pay. Somebody shorted you. And you look around, everybody's looking at you, and it's usually the person that had the soup and the salad, but anyway.
It's usually the person that has the silverware in their pocket.
Those are the takers. And if you're the banker, you end up paying for it.
All right.
And people got your number.
Let's take this call here.
Sure.
Caller, you're on the line with Peter Nazaretian.
Yeah, I was listening to Peter. I kind of agree there a little bit. Yes, I do. But my call was Marlene. I really feel for her because I've been through there too myself. Some things like that happen. In your life, you go through things, and for me, I got myself surrounded with a support group, and part of the support group, sometimes if you have family, there are certain family members that can help you with that. You talk to them constantly, a lot of talking. It requires a lot of talking because we have a lot that's costing us to be in that place that we're in with anxiety, depression, and all of that. And so I would talk a lot. I started seeing my therapist, and some of them they have they can let you know where there's support groups too, and through church too. She says she goes to church. That's very good also because a lot of the churches now they have groups like that, and certainly your medications do help a lot when you're in a place like that, because you can't do this alone. You cannot do this alone. I couldn't, and my family, my mother helped me out a lot through my time when I was going through that, and my sister, those two people. Because not everybody has that to be able to help you out. It's not that they don't want to, but it requires a lot of patience, a lot of, they need to hear you out a lot. They need to be constantly seeing you.
It may require a lot of skill to help somebody, too. Not everybody is qualified to do that. Would you agree with that, caller?
No. Yes, absolutely. Yes, not everybody is, No, they're not qualified. It's just that that's it's something really hard, to go through. And so my heart goes out to her, and my prayer. And but if she, like Peter was saying, absolutely, her medications are very important because they were to me until you can get strong enough and come out of that, But certainly, she try to surround herself with people and that can help her with that constantly. Not be alone, because alone, you cannot do this alone. Alone, you're just I feel like you're going to bury yourself more and more, and because that's what was happening. Oh, I even smelled mint and everything that would help me, and exercise. A lot of walking. Walking's very peaceful. It's hard when you start walking, but as you start walking more and more, it becomes easier.
Thank you
So
very much. I appreciate that
all.
input. You're talking about various ways to support somebody who has issues like this. All those are wonderful suggestions, caller. Thank you so much for letting us know about the walking and don't be alone and have people around you and take care of your medication. These are all great suggestions.
A lot of people want to be alone, though. A lot of people are loners, and they want to be. They just, you know, like Peter, just leave me alone. I don't want any help.
And that's fine if that's what works for you. Some people just want to hunker down and you know, lick their wounds, and that's okay. The trick is to find out what you need. For most people,
trusting people is what.
Oh, huge. And who can you trust? Especially if you've developed these takers I'm talking about. We surround ourselves with people who want to take advantage of us.
The guy that takes the silverware.
Yeah,
Keep an eye out on that guy.
You know, this is
people. I'm serious,
John.
You think I'm joking?
No,
really.
Let me check your pockets because you have some silverware in there. I don't know. You talk about this a lot. I want to check your pockets.
No, I don't steal silverware, but I've seen people do it.
Yeah. A great truth I'm about to tell you. People will advantage you as much as you let them. This is the story of the world. People will take advantage of you as much as you let them. So sometimes having that wonderful nature, that person who never says no, draws people in who realize that they can violate your boundaries. So this is the most difficult thing you do. You set the boundaries with people around you. If you don't have them, they'll run over them. You will absolutely attract people who violate your boundaries if you don't have good ones. So that's what we're talking about this today.
It's always good to go back and recap. Okay, so the video that we ran of Sari Gilman, she's a nationally known family therapist who's written some books and this and that. I want to run that again. Play the sound so we can hear that bad boy so Peter can get up to speed here on what she had to say. Here's what she had to say about setting boundaries. Sari Gilman.
Everyone is in the middle of a life story, and your story is being shaped by what you are saying yes to and what you are saying no to. Your yeses and nos are what boundaries are made of. So what are boundaries? How do we build them? How do we heal when our boundaries are violated? And how do we push through boundaries? These questions have been the center of my life and my work. When I was a little kid and my world was just my family, I was pretty sure we were the only ones struggling with those questions. And then I grew up and I became a family therapist. And I saw lots of people struggling with these questions. And when I took a detour and ran nonprofits, I saw communities and leaders struggling with these questions. So now I teach workshops and wrote a book to help people answer these questions. And as people answer these questions and learn more about their boundaries, I've watched hundreds of people make the journey from being overwhelmed and exhausted and stressed out to people who trust themselves and are decisive and are committed to healthy relationships.
So there you go, Peter. She stresses the fact that, you have to set these boundaries. We kind of already talked about that, but she talks about self-care. And she says, we all hear about eating right and exercising, but you got to do more than that. It's reducing the stress. It's having enjoyment, playfulness, happiness, balance in your life. She really stressed balance, rest, relaxation, and of course, you have to have somebody in your corner that can champion you and champion those ideas that you have, and that means having a companion perhaps in your life. Is she right about all this?
Well, of course. There's nothing wrong with any of that, but she's not addressing setting boundaries directly, which is what we need to be doing here today. Of course, having people in your life is a good thing, and rest and hobbies. These are all wonderful ways to have a good life.
But I couldn't play her whole interview. It's like 30 minutes. So we
no.
And
so
I just took a snippet.
It's all right. It's all good stuff. Now, getting people to actually set those boundaries, that's the challenge.
So, and how do you do that?
How do you do that?
I don't know, but let's take a break and we'll come back and we'll go over all of these. Back in just a moment with Peter Nazaretian. Open phone line 436-ME-TV, option 11.
When you're looking for Whirlpool innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, we'll help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified Whirlpool appliances save you energy and money and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
Want to create something extraordinary? Create perfection. action. Our lifestyle appliances make it easy. KitchenAid, Ventura TV appliance, and you, when only the best will do.
All right, back here on the program, let's put up a couple of these items here. Let's start with personal boundaries again. Let's put that up and I'll read it, Carrie. They are guidelines, rules, or limits that a person creates to identify reasonable, safe, and permissible ways for other people to behave towards them and how they will respond when someone passes those limits. They are built out of a mix of conclusions, beliefs, opinions, attitudes, past experiences, and social learning. This concept has been widely referenced in self-help books and used in the counseling profession since the mid-1980s. So that's a long time.
Yeah. It's all true. Now the trick is, how do you set boundaries? And one of the things you have to figure out is, how do they get violated? So with your permission, can you see this if I hold this up? Yes, looks like we can.
Move this to the side here, but just hold it more in front of you, and maybe take that full screen down so we can see it better.
Play with it. I like this. Okay.
I know.
We're talking about people pleasing. That's really what boundaries are: is violating your people pleaser. I want to make everybody very happy. And I want everybody to like me. I want everybody to do nice things for me. So we get this message from mom or auntie or grandma when growing up. Do nice things for people. Makes you feel good. Makes them feel good. Do our listeners relate to that? You get that message when you were a kid. Do nice things for people. Makes you feel good. Makes them feel good. Okay, good. That sounds right. That sounds like a good thing. Except when you do, what you wind up doing is doing everything for everybody else, saying yes to everybody, and not necessarily getting back for yourself. No, please, you do it. I'll pay for it. You go. We think we're being nice. We think we may be setting ourselves up for them to do nice things for us in the future. But in reality, all we're doing is setting them up to take advantage of us. So we do nice things for others, thinking it makes us feel good and makes them feel good. What actually happens, however, is we get resentful because their needs are getting met and not ours. Well, resentful isn't nice. We don't want to be resentful. That's not nice. So now we start feeling guilty because we're doing nice things for others, but we're not getting our needs met. We don't want to be resentful. Now we feel guilty. Also not nice.
What are we feeling guilty about?
That we were feeling resentful. I'm not supposed to be resentful when I do nice things for people.
Wait a minute.
I'm supposed to feel good.
But aren't you feeling guilty because you're not taking care of your own needs?
No. Stay with me, John. This is about doing nice things for others.
Right.
We get resentful when I do everything for you again and again and again, and you don't do anything back for me. I start getting resentful. I'm doing everything for you, but I'm getting nothing back out of it. But then I get guilty because I feel resentful. I'm not supposed to feel resentful. I want to be nice.
You're guilty because you are resentful of the things that you're doing for other people.
Yeah.
So you're getting zilch in return.
Exactly.
Nothing.
I get nothing back for it, but
Hang on, caller.
But it's supposed to be nice. Well, resentful isn't nice. Guilty isn't nice. So now I start feeling kind of angry because I get this guilt and resentment that I'm building up, and I don't know what to do with it. But angry isn't nice.
Don't you feel empty too?
I don't want to be resentful. I don't want to be guilty. I don't want to be angry. And if I can't show my resentment and my guilt and my anger, if I can't show those things, what do I do with them?
I don't know.
If I can't display them, what else can I do?
Yes.
Stuff them. They either go in or out.
Okay.
Either I'm
All
going to
right.
express them or I'm not going to express them.
All right.
So they go inside. Anger turned inside, folks, is depression. Depression is just anger without the enthusiasm. So now we get depressed by stuffing all that anger. I feel resentful, I feel guilty, I feel angry, I stuff it all and I get depressed. And what do I do when I feel depressed? Makes me feel better? Doing something nice for somebody. Because that was the message. The people pleaser cycle just goes round and round and round. The antidote for this, folks, which is our point today, is this. No. Say no. Well, wait a minute, I don't want to say no. That's not nice. Saying no is nice. No is a wonderful thing. It's a complete sentence. No. Well, why not? No. Well, you always did. No. Well, if you don't do it, who's going to do it? No. Well, if you love me, you would. No. You just keep saying no. It's
Can
a complete
I say bug
sentence.
off?
You can say bug off if you want to, but no is the answer. Stop saying, folks.
I understand. I'm making a joke of it. It's really not a joke.
Have you ever said yes in this tone of voice? Well, I really, it's not, okay. Ever said yes in that tone of voice?
All the time.
Or this one? Fine, all right, fine, I'll do it. Ever said yes in that tone of voice? Because if you have, ask yourself, what was your body telling you to say? No. What did your mouth say? Yes. There's the disconnect. When your body tells you to say no, say no. Intuition. But we don't trust it because we want to be nice, want people to like us. I don't want people to say no. People won't like me if I say no. That's right. The people in your life who want to take advantage of you won't like you. People who take advantage of you won't like you.
Duh.
Problem solved. Say no and shut up. Big key here. Say no and shut up. You don't owe anybody an explanation for anything. Just say no. Hot flash for you folks. Say no for 30 days. Take care of your kids. Take care of your obligations. But other than that, say no to the people. In 30 days, you'll find an amazing thing happens. The people who want to take advantage of you go away because they just come to you first because you say yes first. Say no, and they go to the next person on the list. They don't really care about you that much. Find out. In 30 days, the deadwood will be cleared out, and the only people left will be people who care for you. And the people who love you don't care if you say no. They'll accept your boundary, and that's okay. It's only the people who don't like you that will go away. Again, if the people who don't like you and take advantage of you go away, isn't that a good thing?
Okay, closely running out of time here, quickly running out of time. Let's put up the other full screen. It's called Help Define an Individual. That's a good indicator about the individual, outlining likes and dislikes and setting the distances one allows others to approach. They include physical, mental, psychological, spiritual boundaries involving beliefs, emotions, intuitions, and self-esteem. Explain this in like layman's terms. Hang on, caller.
It comes down to the same thing: knowing who you are and saying no if you don't want to do it. I mean, this is wonderful words, and there's nothing wrong with any of them. But in the practical sense, say no. Say no if you don't want to do it. And if your body tells you to say no, say no. That's it. These are all the ways they happen. These are all good things. But essentially, folks, if you're looking for a way to fix this problem, say no.
All right, caller, you're on the line. Go ahead.
Peter, let me say one thing. As we were growing up, we tried to tell our kids nothing bad because of the depression and whatever. And as they got older, that they never knew about the bad times if we were rich or poor. We never did that, okay? But you're right. As long as we kept them, loving them and telling them we loved them, they didn't have that problem as far as depression and anger or saying things that they shouldn't be. And the same thing with my grandson. He all he sees is love and all that. That helps him when he grows up, and it helps him when he's in school. And people have to understand they must say I love you, whether the times are good or bad. True? Yes or no?
Oh, yeah. Validating people is a wonderful way to do it. Now, there's a difference between validating, what you're talking about, which is very good, and blowing smoke up somebody's butt. Your kid comes in third, and you tell them you should have won, the other two probably cheated. That's giving them a bad message. In life, sometimes you come in first, sometimes you don't, and you have to accept those things. So being realistic with your praise, being realistic with the way you validate somebody. But yes, absolutely, letting them know that you're there for them, that you love them, that you care for them. These are all wonderful things. Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, caller. Let's put up another full screen. It's called Jacques LACAN. Explain who this gentleman is, because you're the one that sent me this. He considered such boundaries to be layered in a hierarchy reflecting all the successive envelopes of the biological and social status of the person. Personal boundaries operate in two different directions, affecting both the incoming and outgoing interactions between two people. These are sometimes referred to as the protection and containment functions. Explain who this guy is and what he's talking about.
He's been in the business for a million years, and what he says is more important than who he is. And this, let me see if I can put this in layman's terms for you. There are two boundaries in your life. If you imagine yourself sitting in a farmhouse surrounded by a corral, the outer corral is your outer boundary. That's the one that keeps people away from you. The inner boundary is the one that you stay in the house and lock the door. Because when you say to some people, no, I don't want to do that, no, I'm not going to do that, some people will jump over that fence. They don't care. Oh, please, please, please. Oh, why don't you do it? You always did. They'll violate that boundary even though you tell them not to. It's important to have the inner boundary. This is the one that keeps them away from you, theoretically, but this is the one that keeps you away from them. Don't get sucked in. Just because somebody bugs you and gets over that fence doesn't mean you have to give in. Then that's when you find yourself saying, well, I really okay, because they violated you. Don't know what to say. Stay in the house, lock the door. That inner boundary, the containment boundary that you talked about is important.
Right, and he's a longtime psychologist, therapist, psychiatrist, in the business, long time. A Frenchman, I would assume. Jacques LACAN. Look that up on the internet. Hey, let's go with love. All right, do you love me, Peter? Come on.
I love you, John.
Yeah, sure you do. Love can't exist without boundaries, even with your children. It's easy to understand that external boundaries as your bottom line. Think of rules and principles you live by when you say, what you will or will not allow in your life. So love cannot exist without boundaries. Is that right?
Yeah.
And why?
Well, because we have to, each of us has our own persona. If we don't have our certain boundaries, we can be run over by somebody, and that's not a good thing. A relationship works on balance. We give and receive in equal measure. We have a happy relationship. If one person does all the giving and the other person does all the taking, again, we're back to givers and takers, it's not going to work out. So knowing what you will accept and not accept from the other person is important.
All right. Saying no. No means no, right?
Yep.
If you have difficulty saying no, override your needs to please others. We kind of talked about this, but we can go over it again. Or are bothered by someone who is demanding. Demanding. Are you demanding, Peter?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Talk
controlling. Faster. Are you controlling?
Talk faster.
Criticizing, pushy,
fast
abusive, invasive, pleading, or even smothering you with kindness. It's your responsibility to speak up.
Well, you know, now that last line in there, you're smothering you with kindness. That's interesting because demanding, controlling, criticizing, pushy, and abusive seem to have nothing to do with killing you with kindness. Those seems to be diametrically opposed. But in fact, that can be the same thing. I'm smothering you so much that you feel like you can't do anything. You just have to lay there and take whatever they want to give you. Oh, you're so beautiful. I love you. Do the bum, 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 bum. And it sounds wonderful, but sometimes that too can be controlling and pushy. Here's a quick note. People who have lousy boundaries, people who say yes too easily, often attract people who take advantage of them. They attract predators because people can tell when you're a pushover about money or love or kindness or sex or anything else. And every so often you get somebody who comes in and says, I'm not going to take advantage of you. I'm going to rescue you. I'm going to be the rescue ranger. I'll take care of you. I won't hurt you. I won't violate your boundaries. Look, I just want to love you and take care of you. It's getting that smothering thing. And you find out that after a while, now that I've rescued you, now that I've saved you, now you're mine. Now I get to do the things everybody else is doing. You find out that the rescue ranger is simply a predator with a white hat. Be careful.
Pull that board out again. What'd you do with that board? We got like 2 minutes, don't we? Okay, so go over this one more time. So start in the beginning, the far left-hand corner.
Yep.
Okay. Do nice things for others.
We're told to do nice things for others when we're a kid. Do nice things for others makes you feel good and makes them feel good. So we do that. We do and we do and we do, and we sort of expect people are going to be nice to us and be balanced. But oftentimes when we do too much, they take advantage. And then we start getting a little bit resentful because we're getting taken advantage of. I'm always paying for lunch. I always pick you up. How come you never pick me up? But I don't want to be not nice. Okay. So then I get guilty that I'm feeling bad. See, I'm not supposed to feel bad. I'm supposed to love people, take care of people. So I feel guilty. And then I start getting angry because I've got resentful and guilt and now anger, and none of those are nice. So I stuff them all because nobody wants to see angry. Nobody wants to see Mr. Cranky Pants when you've always been a nice person. So now I stuff all of these. They become depression because anger stuffed is depression. And the way we make us feel better about ourselves when I'm angry, do something nice for somebody. It's the people pleaser cycle. I want people to like me.
Circle.
Say no.
It's like a treadmill, right?
Say no and shut up.
Yeah.
There's
Peter,
the key.
Good to see you.
A pleasure.
Glad you made it.
Yeah, me
good
too.
show today, man.
You betcha. Thank you.
Right.
Folks,
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you next month. All right, coming up on Monday on Connect with Me, Loretta Sanchez. She is a sitting congresswoman who is running for Senate, U.S. Senate, against Kamala Harris to try to replace Barbara Boxer. And it'll be interesting as to how she voted on some of those issues in Congress. We'll go over some of those with her when she is here on Monday. Loretta Sanchez. Keep that in mind, live at 10 o'clock for the full hour. Have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll see you then.
If you have a need to promote your business or event, please consider MeTV Fresno for your next campaign. MeTV reaches over 100,000 of your potential customers in the Fresno area every single week. Plus, you can rest assured that your commercial is running in the greatest family-friendly programs of all time. MeTV Fresno delivers a strong, loyal audience ready to buy, and your campaign will cost a fraction of what you're paying for your advertising now. Call me today to find out how affordable MeTV is at 905-1925.
When you're looking for Whirlpool innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, will help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified Whirlpool appliances save you energy and money and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
Giddy up with westerns, we've got the best ones. Superhero, sci-fi, spin, grab the popcorn and stay in. Dramas, mystery, and action, take a look and see what happens. Carol, Andy, Lucy, MASH, timeless comedies full of laughs. Hey, that's me!
That's me.
That's me, Chief.
Yeah, me.
Me, you gotta see, that's memorable, that's me.